Hi, come on in. How are you at midnight? Did I just talk to you on the phone? Okay, and you're here for the Halloween costume, hair and makeup. Yep. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get started. You have a party tonight for Halloween, correct? Okay, so I just want to start by getting your information and then kind of talking through your costume a little bit. What's your full name again? Okay, perfect. And what were you looking for in terms of the costume? Did you have any pictures? It's okay, no pictures. Okay. A forest fairy. Okay, so what colors were you thinking for that? Greens and purples. I like it. Okay, what else? Okay, so lots of glitter. Were you gonna do wings? Okay. Okay. And were you just thinking like a kind of like a shorter, like Tinkerbell type of dress? Okay. And what color? Since you need purple, green with purple accent possible. Okay. Now I know you told me that, so I did grab some items here. I wanted just to say that I remember you said that you'd be outside, so you didn't want to do anything that was too chilly. Yeah. So I had this fabric actually that is very unique, so I had not used it, but I think it would be absolutely perfect for your costume. So I'll just show you. So it's a green fabric, and it does have like a kind of like almost like a winter coat feel to it, as you can feel. Just go ahead and feel yourself. Yeah, so it has that green suede type feel, but this is what made me think of it when you were describing your costume. It has a purple kind of wool interior, which not only goes with your costume color scheme, but it also is really warm. So if you're outside, this would be, in my opinion, perfect for your costume. So I was thinking we would just measure you today. Yep. And this is already has the sleeves. It has sleeves already with the inside, just like I showed you. So I thought we would just measure you today. I could tailor it off at the bottom, and then once we did that, we could just add some makeshift. Okay, and for the wings, in terms of that, were you thinking that you wanted to have something like this fabric? You wanted to do something like kind of shiny? Okay, I have some paper that is kind of translucent and kind of reflective. If you wanted to do that, I have some outline. We can just wrap it and clip it. Okay, so I will add some clips to the back here, and I can just add those on. It'll be very simple once we get your costume on, okay? All right, so we're also doing your hair and makeup, correct? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So let's talk your makeup first. What are you looking for that? Okay. So a cleaner look. Okay, what kind of eye makeup? Okay, some purple for sure. Okay, did you want to do like a purple blush to do something kind of like, okay. Okay. And what about lashes? No lashes, you just kind of want to go more natural with the pops of color. Okay, did you want to do eyeliner? All right. Great. Let's see, what about lipstick? have one that's kind of like, I think the glitter, it's glittery for sure. I think the tone is called Honey. Would you like that? Okay. I don't think I have purple. I can check, but it's like a really specific thing, so I think I don't have it. Okay, no problem. Okay, and then hair. Okay. So, I'm trying to think the best way. We can definitely do some little space buns, maybe with some clips. I think I have, just looking, I have so many props for costumes. I do, yeah, I think I have some little butterfly clips we could do. I think I have purple. Okay, you want to do that? And you want some spray glitter in there. I definitely have spray glitter. I might even have purple. I know I have green. Okay. Sounds good. And then we'll do some glitter on your cheeks too for your makeup. Okay, so I'm going to start off doing your measurements if that works for you. I'm going to switch to a pencil because I have to redo these sometimes. I mess up. Yeah, you know how it goes. Okay, so I think we'll use just a regular tape measure. Okay, I'm going to set this over here. You can stay seated, that's fine. And then I might have you stand up later on. Let's see, we're gonna do legs, chest, diaphragm, shoulders, arms, waist, and then we'll do your dress length. Where do you want your collar? You want it to be a lower cut, off the shoulder? Yeah, I'll have to measure for that too. Okay, let's see, legs, chest, diaphragm, shoulders, arms, waist, dress length, off the shoulder collar. I think that's all we need to do. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the legs. Like I said, you can stay seated. I just need you to put your leg up on this ottoman area here. Okay, have you been measured by a tailor before? Okay, well then just relax. It's not really anything to worry about. Okay, put that leg out this way, okay? Yeah. Sorry. That's 33. Yeah, I do both, because a lot of times they're a little bit different and we just need to make sure it's exactly right. Okay. Sure. Okay, so go ahead and switch legs. Other leg up on this side. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do your chest. Just relax your shoulders. However you would usually feel comfortable is what we want to measure. Okay, I'm going to go straight across. Sorry. Okay. 18 and a half. While I'm doing your chest, I'm going to do the off the shoulder cuff for the collar. Now I'm thinking we would just put about, I'm thinking 16. Let me check. I'm going to lay the fabric on top of your shoulders. Just relax. Okay. Okay, how does that feel? And do you want it to come off the shoulder this way? Or do you want it to come off this way? On this side. Okay. I'm gonna think it's gonna stop about right here. That's good. A little looser. Right there. Okay. Let me just measure the jacket length. Oh, that was the last time? Okay. Okay, let's see. Here we go. And that was your right shoulder. Okay, I'm gonna do your actual shoulders, not the length for the off the cuff, and then we'll do your diaphragm. Most people do enjoy getting, you know, their makeup and measurements done, so. Okay, so I'm gonna go across the shoulders now. Okay, I'm just gonna run straight across the shoulder. Let's see. Okay. Got that one. Perfect. Still doing okay? Okay. Alright, so I just want you to sit up regularly. Just don't slouch, but don't do like, you know what I mean? Just a comfortable seated posture. So we can go across your diaphragm, okay? Okay, so go ahead and just adjust your chair however you need to. Alright, good. Just gonna move to your side just a little bit. Adjust your chair just a tad. Okay, that's perfect. Got that. Okay, so I've got that diaphragm, shoulders. All right, we're gonna get your arms now. Just go ahead and extend each arm. Just start with this left one first. Yeah, I like to just double check because sometimes you have like varying lengths or the way you are like postured. So we're just gonna make sure that's lined up, okay? Perfect. Yep. Good, and I'm going to just switch over here and extend this one. Alright, that looks great as well. Let's go ahead and mark this. Okay, and then let me just go ahead and we got the off the shoulder. Okay. Let's just decide how long that you want the dress length. Well, seated, okay? So, because a lot of times it's going to vary if you're standing up versus sitting down. So just stay seated, and I'm going to run the measurement that way. Okay, so 7. Let me just show you where that's gonna fall for your actual fabric. So if we use the fabric that you picked, I'm just going to slide this across your lap. So it's gonna fall about Right there while you're seated. Uh-huh. Up a little. So it would be shorter standing up, so we could do like a middle, like right about here. That's about a 1/2 inch. Okay, that's perfect then. All right, I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna set that there, and I'm just going to write this down for your final measurement for the dress length. Perfect. Okay, check that off. Okay. That's perfect. So for your clips on the back of your dress, I just want to go ahead and check that that is going to be where you want them for your wings. So I'm just going to lay the fabric on your back. Okay, I'm going to use my clips here, and I'm just going to measure where they're going to fall on your actual outfit, okay? Set that right there. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and line this up. So I'm going to put the first one about right here. How does that feel? Okay, so then I'm just going to move down about 1.5 inches. And we're going to put the second one there, okay? How does that feel? So given that, do you think you would like a third clip? Okay, so I'm going to add another one just below. Right there. That works for you? Okay, so just kind of feel around the back, kind of give yourself a little movement. Not too tight. Nope. Okay, perfect. So we'll go ahead and send this back for them to start the measurements for tailoring. They'll go ahead and tailor everything while we are doing your makeup, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I am going to go ahead and start your makeup look while they are tailoring everything. Any other measurements you would like me to do before we start the makeup? No? Okay, sounds good. So I'll grab my makeup items and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got everything for your makeup out, I believe. And we're just gonna do a cleaner look, incorporate some glitter, purple glitter, if you can, no eyeliner. Let's see, glitter on cheeks with highlighter, right? Okay, we're not gonna do any extra lashes, and then some purple blush if I have some, which I believe that I do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set my clipboard aside here, and we're just gonna get started. I'm gonna just take a look at your skin, okay? Okay, looks good. Looks like you have pretty much just normal combination skin. Okay, so I have my makeup bag here. This is the main one that I typically use for my costume makeups. And I have pretty much got everything in here. I also have all of my brushes. So anything you could need, I have in here for brushes. And I have a couple palettes too. Okay, so I'm just gonna start off by prepping the skin, okay? Okay. I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit of moisturizer before we get started. Okay. Okay. Now, do you typically use any serums on your face? Okay, let me see what's the best one I think I could use for you. I'm gonna go in with a discoloration and correction serum by Good Molecules. Yes, I like this one. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I think what we'll do finally before we get started is put some primer on you. And I'm going to use this on your eyelids as well. I like this primer a lot. So I have two options actually. I can go in with the Revlon Photo Ready Perfection Primer. I also have the Holy Hydration Thirst Burst Drops, which add glow because they do have a bit of iridescent glow to them, which is why the bottle is kind of like that as well. Okay, this one. Alright, I think that's a great choice since we're kind of going for that glowy fairy look, per se. Okay, I'm going to start out just adding this with my hand, and then I'll go in and add it with a, buff it out with a sponge, I think. Okay. Now I'm just going to go in with a little bit of a sponge to keep this on your face, like really just kind of nicely on there. We don't want any like finger marks, you know what I mean, or brush strokes, so. Okay, I think that looks really good. So I'm gonna go in with some concealer. And I have a couple different ones that I'm gonna try to grab for you. See which one you want to do. Okay, so I have 4. And let's just see which one is best for you. I'm gonna just hold these up against your face. Since you are gonna be a fairy, I want to do something lighter around the under eyes, and that's just gonna make it kind of pop a bit. Okay. Okay, so I think not this one. Okay, it's between these two. Okay, we're gonna do this one. Okay. just gonna go under the chin. Okay, that looks great. All right, so next we're gonna go in with a foundation. And you said you wanted a clean look, so I think we need to do a medium or lighter coverage. You agree? Okay. Let me see what I have. Okay, so I'm thinking that this Tarte Amazonian Clay BB cream would be good. It has SPF too, which you probably don't need, but it is oil free, which is great for the combination skin. Yeah, and then I can put some pressed powder over it. Okay. Okay, got some there. I'm gonna start out using a brush to apply this, and then we can go back over it if we need to with a sponge. Okay, just to get the brush strokes off. Okay. A little bit. Yeah, I like doing it, doing makeup, but I just don't really wear it. I don't really like to, honestly. It just takes too much time, and then, I don't know. It's not even just the time. I just am not into it, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna just follow up with a little bit of the sponge because I don't want to get those brush strokes off. The cheeks, they get on the cheeks the most, I think. Yeah, you just don't want that. It's just kind of it just doesn't look good, obviously. And I don't know. Yes, I do have the pressed powder, the translucent one I want to use on you. I'll do that before we hit the eye makeup. Under the eyes is really important. Okay, beautiful. So I'm gonna hit the face now with a little bit of the translucent powder. And I think we will go in with a brush on this first. And then we can follow up with some press powder under the eyes, if that works for you. Yeah? Okay. I think this one's the best one. So I'm going to do the Bare Minerals translucent press powder. You know, you gotta be very careful with this because it gets so much. You gotta like knock it back down. Okay. Just cap the excess. Here we go. bit more. And then, like I said, I'm not doing under the eyes right now. I'm going to do that with the sponge. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to press powder under the eyes. Just hang tight 1 second. I'm just going to see if I have my other sponge that I want to use. I like to use a certain type of sponge for the pressed powder. I don't have one in this bag. Here we go. Just use this one right here, and this one's perfect because it's got the little V, so I can press it right under the eyes perfectly. Yep. Okay, ready? Okay, I'm just gonna get a little bit more. Okay. I don't think you need any on the top. Do you want me to do the forehead? So I'll do a little bit on the inner part, the T-zone, okay? Okay, and then I want to do a little bit on your chin, because that's where a lot of people get oily. Okay, feel good? Okay, I'm just gonna put that lid on that. Alright, so now we're gonna do your eye makeup. I am gonna go ahead and spray your face with a little bit of setting spray to keep everything intact, and I like to do that with the powder, and then I'll brush it off later. So now we're gonna just go ahead and with your eye makeup. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of this poreless primer for the eyelids. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna just show you. I have a couple palettes I pulled because you wanted purple. So the first one I thought of was this one. This is the Stardust by Vegas Nay Too Faced palette. So this one is called Follow Me. It's a purple. It's not showing up great in this lighting, but it's a really bold purple. And sometimes I do pair it with one of these because they're like a champagne-y light nude shimmer. Then I think this one might have something in it. Let me check because I don't remember. I think it had a purple, but I can't remember. This is the Chocolate Bonbon palette. It does smell like chocolate. So actually no, this doesn't have a purple in it. This one's a little bit purpley. It's called Black Currant, so it's like a darker purple. I thought think I remembered it being lighter than that. But the main one I thought of you when you wanted the fairy look is the Anastasia Aurora palette. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's actually called the Glow Kit. And this one really gives fairy vibes. It's very obviously glowy. It's a glow kit. This one right here, Spectra, is a beautiful purple. It looks kind of brown in this lighting, but it's purple. And I usually like to pair it with the Luna white powder. It's the really, really bright highlighted powder. This is the Spectra next to it. And it really comes off purple in the right light. You want to do that one? Okay, so I'm going to do a blend of these two on the eyelids, with this one on the inner and then this one on the outer. And then we'll do blush with it with the highlight right here. Does that work? Okay, cool. Let me get my brushes. So I'm going to do this one. And this one. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a little brush here. Okay, so we're going to go in with the Spectra to start off, okay? Okay, and I'm going to go this side. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit more. And I'm going to blend this a little bit more heavily this time, so okay. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of a smaller brush with the Luna. You can see it's quite sparkly and pretty. I think this is going to look really good. Okay, here we go. I'm just blending together. Okay. That's very pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and just curl the lashes a little bit. Okay, just here we are. Okay. Now I'm gonna spray the eyes. Now before we go in with the blush and highlight, I'm gonna do a little bit of a contour with this Hoola by Benefit bronzer. I love this for around the top and a little bit on the cheekbone. I think will be perfect. You agree? Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna go in with that. All right. So I'm just gonna do very fine line areas here. Okay. And then around the forehead. Okay, and then around the chin a little bit. Okay. Okay, and then a quick little blending. Just gonna go ahead and get that pressed powder under the eyes a little bit. Yep, that looks really good. All right, so now I'm going to finish up with that Aurora palette on the blush and the highlights. Okay, oops, sorry. Here we go. I'm just gonna get a little bit of the spectra. Okay, and then a little bit of the Luna. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go with that. Very light brush strokes. Just want a nice glow. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and brush off some of that powder that we added earlier. Okay. Okay, that's great. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of glitter spray. And actually, before we do that, I am going to go ahead and add some mascara. I'm going to use this Milk mascara. Okay, I like this one a lot. Okay, just gently. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit of glitter spray. And oh, after that I'm going to get you some gloss. Okay, so just a little glitter spray. Okay. Almost out of that actually, so I have to get that. And now I'm going to add, I'm going to buff some of this out gently so we don't have the concentrated glitter anywhere. Okay. And gloss. So I talked to you about the honey gloss earlier, but I actually had a different idea. So I was thinking we should do something more iridescent, like all the glow we did. think the honey might throw off the theme I did with everything else. So I'd like to change that up a bit. You're okay with it? Okay, so I thought we could use this hard candy plumping serum. This one is really pretty and it has a very iridescent glow like everything else that we had put on you. Yeah? Okay. Let's do that one then. I like that. I think it's gonna look way more with the theme. Okay, just whenever you want to rub that in. Yeah, I agree. That would look really cute. Here we go. So I'm going to add a little bit of that liquid blush right on the cheeks. Just tap, tap, tap in. Okay, I think we're done. How do you feel? Good? Okay, so makeup, all good. Take a look in the mirror, make sure you love it. Good? Okay, so we have 2 more things to do before we do your hair. First, I am going to go ahead and slip your costume on. Yeah, sure. I'll give you another spray, the setting spray. I know, can't go overboard with that. Okay, so good. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get your costume. They did bring it back, so hopefully everything's tailored well. I'm gonna slide that on over your bodysuit and then attach your wings to make sure they feel good, so that nothing gets on your hair or on your costume when we do your hair. If your wings are good, I will just take them back off and you can clip them back on later, okay? That sounds good to you? Alright, so I have your costume right here on this hanger. Okay, so if you just want to sit, I'll just slide this over your head. Okay, I'm just gonna pull that down over this way. Okay, that looks good. Smooth this out. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put your arm in the sleeve. Okay. Do you want me to roll it a little bit? Okay. Make sure everything feels good on this end. No issues? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and zip this up. Alright, that's alright. Alright, now let me go ahead and put the clips in for your wings. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and attach those clips. Okay, and then that's the first one, and then here's the second one. Okay, and then the third one. Okay, does that feel okay? Alright, so now I'm just going to put those other clips down. I'm going to grab your wings. Now these are, they do feel a little bit like foil, the holographic translucent paper that we coat them in. So I'm just going to be very gentle and attach these back here. Perfect. Does this feel okay? Yeah? Alright, perfect. I'm just gonna take them back off and set them aside then. Still good? Okay, we'll reattach those after we do your hair, and then we will finish up. So let me go ahead and put away the makeup stuff here. And I'm gonna just set this aside and grab my hair products, and then we'll get started on your hair. Okay, so I've got all my things I need, I think, for your hair. So what I'm thinking is we will start out by brushing out your hair, and then I'm going to section it to do your space buns, but I'm just going to adjust your chair here just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start, after I brush, of course, by just using, I think, about this section here, and I'm going to do a velcro curler on the bangs. Okay? Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and brush out your hair. Really pretty hair. Is this your natural color? Wow, it's really pretty. Probably easier. Yeah, what about you? Oh, okay. Hair's really healthy then. I'm actually going today to get a haircut, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and section out with my comb. I'm trying to see. Just gonna leave that there. I'm gonna section out this side. Okay. Gonna glue this over here. Okay, on this side I'm gonna do the same thing. To me, I like to make sure your part and everything is perfect before I put anything else in. Exactly. Makes a big difference. If the part's off, everything else is just not good. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this bit of hair for the velcro curler. Okay, does that feel like that's enough hair? Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna use this green roller. I think this will be, let me look. Yeah, I think this is the perfect length and size. gonna pull this tight and then wrap the hair there. Okay, I'm gonna give that a little spray, a little bit of hairspray. Now I'm gonna start with the space buns. I'm gonna take this clip out. Okay. Just gonna comb through on this side. Sorry about that. We need a little bit of brush action. I'm just smoothing out all sides of the hair. Yep, just like a ponytail. Make sure no bumps. I love getting my hair brushed too. It's very relaxing. Alright, so I have all of this brushed out perfectly. Sorry, I'm moving your chair a little bit. No tangles you can hear. It just brushes right through. So now I'm going to go ahead, run the comb through, gather everything perfectly. You still doing okay? Okay, good. So one thing about this hairstyle, you just have to get everything perfectly lined up so you don't have any bumps. And everything is very perfectly straight and aligned on each side of the head. So sorry about that, but that's what I'm doing. It'll just take a little bit. Okay. Now I'm just gonna go ahead, create that bun, okay? It's gonna twist. I'm gonna move your chair over a bit. Okay. You still good? Alright, good. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start twisting the hair. Okay, now I'm just gonna go ahead, add a hairband here. Okay, still okay? Alright, and then I'm going to add the bobby pins. Underneath. Okay, perfect. So we've got one side all finished. I'm going to take the clip out on this side. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and just section, or sorry, not section. I'm going to take this section and brush it through until it's nice and perfectly untangled. I'm just going to start on the ends there. Sorry, got a little knot here I'm trying to get out. There we go. side is a little bit more tangled, but not much left of it now. I think I've got most of it out, okay? Yeah. No worries. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bring the comb in. Perfect. Okay. Go ahead and start to wrap this part up. Okay, and around. Okay. Okay, it's gonna add the bobby pins here. Okay, now I'm just gonna add some hairspray. Okay, and then I do want to add a little bit of the glitter. This little spritzer gets jammed up. That is the glitter. Just gonna rub my fingers over the top so it's not too concentrated. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove your cape now, okay? Alright, do you want to go ahead and just take a look in the mirror and see what you think of everything? You like it? Okay, is there anything else I can do for you today? Okay, well, enjoy your Halloween party. Thank you so much for coming in. It was a pleasure doing your costume and hair and makeup, and maybe I'll see you next year. Alright, you too. Bye-bye.